absolutely fuming, man. I'm just so annoyed. Don't get me wrong. Right, if you haven't heard the news, Evanilson's red against Manchester United has been reversed. Lo and behold. Great to have him back for Arsenal. That's good. But what we've got is one set of blokes watching a TV thinking one thing, and then a few days later, with the glory of hindsight, then thinking that the first set of blokes watching a TV were actually wrong. Unbelievable. So we had to play a lot of minutes with 10 men, ended up dropping points against Man United. So, look, short story. You're probably not Bournemouth fans. I get that, right? We were 1-0 up, relatively cruising against Manchester United, and Evanilson went in for a challenge, by the way, which was no different to when Bruno Fernandes did it on James Maddison in a match against Spurs last year. He slipped and then he caught him with 1 foot. Same happened on this occasion. Referee Peter Banks correctly gives a yellow, but then 3 guys in an isolated hub 100 miles down the road decide, actually, can you look at that again? Because we think this. And then he goes over to the screen, pressured to do so, and whilst he's looking at the screen, he's got people talking in his ear, saying what they think, and then all of a sudden he's like, actually, yeah, let's make it a red. So Bournemouth have to play 29 minutes against Manchester United. 9 minutes of injury time, by the way. 9. And of course they equalise at the death, fans celebrating like they've won a major trophy, and we dropped points. We really needed 3 points in that game, but we only got the 1. The club, of course, appealed it, rightly so, based on Manchester United's original appeal with Bruno Fernandes, which they won, and it's been announced this morning that we've won it as well. It's an absolute circus. But don't worry, lads, don't worry. It's only Bournemouth. It's absolutely fine. It's great to have an apology, don't get me wrong. Thanks for that. Just like we had an apology for having a goal disallowed in our draw at Fulham. James Hill scored it, but that wasn't given. That was overruled. Great to have an apology, just like our goal being disallowed. Dango Ouattara's header in the draw against Newcastle, which they said came off his arm. If we can't get consistency with VAR, which we clearly aren't getting, our club need to vote against it the next time we have the chance to. Wolves, fair play to them. They were the only club out of 19 that voted against it. I don't know who benefits from VAR. I really don't know. Apparently, there's some stat somewhere that VAR has actually increased the correct decisions from 82% to 96%. How do they make those stats up, right? Because you can have an identical challenge that leads to a penalty, say, and one set of VAR people will be like, no, I don't think it was. And then another set of people would be like, yeah, it was. But in VAR's eyes, it would be 100% correct because VAR made what's the correct decision. But it's wrong because that's 50% to me. This is where the whole clear and obvious thing almost negates all the statistics when it comes to VAR. I'm just annoyed by the implementation of it. And I'm just frustrated that Bournemouth's voice is just a very small voice, so no one cares about it. If this was the other way round, and Manchester United, I don't know, we're at the other end competing for Europe or whatever, and this incident happened and held them back, you would see the furore online in the press everywhere about Manchester United have been wrong. But because it's little old Bournemouth with 11,500 seats, no one seems to give a shit, of course. So no one's talking about it. Even on a group I just posted in, I posted it and everyone's talking about something else already. Jamie Vardy. Like, nothing against that group, but no one cares. And that's the place we're in at the moment. I just don't understand. Like VAR, right? It's probably not enough staff to do this, but 3 blokes all watching the same game in a hub is not right. There need to be some isolated sets of decision makers. If I'm one of these 3 people in a hub and I think I can see something, I'm confident that I could convince the other guys that they can see it too, right? There need to be like separate teams, maybe 3 who can't communicate to each other and just make their decision and the majority wins. That's that. Or make it simpler. Have 2 teams that are isolated. And if they both say the same thing, the ref can be advised to make that decision. If they disagree, stick to what the ref said. Or if they can't decide within a certain window, then say 90 seconds, then obviously it's not clear and obvious because you're taking too long to look at it. So stick with the ref's original call. I'm just frustrated here. And look, I know this may sound like a bit of entitlement because it's Bournemouth and you're going beyond your station. You're above and beyond where you should be. You should be in relegation chats, all this kind of stuff. Well, the fact is we're not. And the fact is that making Europe this season would be a huge financial boost to our club. But alas, it might not happen. With 10th in the league, we would have been 8th if we'd have held on for that draw. Just really annoyed at the way that it's being deployed at the moment. And we've lost out again. And as good as an apology is, don't get me wrong, love it. That doesn't get the points back. It doesn't get the 2 points back that we lost at Fulham. It doesn't get the 2 points back that we lost at Newcastle, and it doesn't get the 2 points back that we lost at Man United. I know a lot of it's hypothetical, right? And I'm grounded enough to realise that just because we'd have played 11 against 11, it might not necessarily have worked out that way. Manchester United could have scored. Manchester United could have even won the game. But it's just, I don't understand how one set of team can say one thing and then another team can then say something else. So basically they're saying, we know we're shit by reversing it. In some ways, in some kind of weird way, I'd have almost preferred it if they'd stuck to their guns. Now, no, I mean, I don't mean that because I want Evanilson back, but I'd have accepted it more, so I could have at least gone down the outlandish conspiracy theory against Bournemouth route, you know? But this is just another admission of we're not fit for purpose. So, yeah, another decision no one's going to talk about after today. It doesn't matter. We've got Arsenal coming up, so we will be doing a preview on it. But I think it just underlines mine and many fans' gripes with VAR because I just can't see who benefits. I honestly believe that if it was just stuck to the referee who makes the decision and no technology is involved, obviously fans would have a much better experience. But fans, I think, would be a bit more relaxed about it. And if something goes wrong, it's just human error. That's fine. I don't think it would actually land the refs in any more kind of. Obviously, I know that the referees associations and the PGMOL and the referees down to grassroots, you know, they don't have a great time. They really don't. But it would be human error. Unfortunately, the human error now is, I think, compounded and maybe exacerbated by the fact that people are seeing it, the referee's having a chance to see it again, and they're getting it wrong after watching it again. Peter Banks made the right call. He made the right call. I think he actually had quite a good game in that because like Tyler Adams went in for a 50-50 with Garnacho, and that was a yellow. I mean, a lot of Man United fans have said it should have been a sending off. Come on. Garnacho's got the physique of a 8-year-old, like, and he rolled over about as many times as years he has. Like, honestly, prime actor, Oscar worthy. And you can see a still that we put on a recent video where it's clear that Tyler Adams wins the ball. It's just his momentum because he's going fast. Are people not allowed to make challenges when they're going at speed now? Is that what football's come down to? I mean, I'm talking about football going soft, and I sound like a 70-year-old talking about what it was like back in the day. But I'm just infuriated with the way the game's going. There's a lot of protection of players, and I really fear for the way our game's going at the moment. But yeah, anyway, Bournemouth have we got Evanilson back, which is a great thing. But unfortunately, we haven't got 6 points that we probably should have got. Look, there may have been decisions that have benefited us as well. Look, I'd call them, even in the Man United game, Adam Smith fouled in the second half. When we got that free kick, was it Dorgu? I can't remember who it was. We had a free kick where Ouattara hit the post. We shouldn't have had that free kick. Adam Smith possibly should have been booked. It was a perfect challenge, but he followed through and then twatted him in the shins. So I'm not saying that we're at the wrong end of all the decisions, because we've gained 2, absolutely, but wouldn't it be better if we just had the referee refs the games? Because as it is, they seem to be doing less and less, relying on the technology more. Even assistant referees or lines people, whatever we're supposed to be calling them these days, even they're not making decisions anymore. They're sort of waiting for the ref to, like, even throw-ins, they're not putting their flag up until the ref decides which way. I mean, that's your job. Come on. And it just seems that they're also letting play go because they haven't got the conviction to put the flag up themselves. a lot of the time, they're always right anyway. But yeah, I'm just getting incredibly frustrated with it. And Bournemouth go into a game against Arsenal, an angered Arsenal after their loss. And at least we got Evanilson back, but we just know that we're going to be talking about some kind of VAR controversy again at the weekend, and then the weekend after that as well. Yeah, it's not good, but at least we got Eva back. Thanks for listening to my rant, but I'm just fuming this morning, absolutely fuming. Up the cherries.